Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out for Ixion's presentation of Georgia Sothern. Now, before we get the show started, we actually have someone in the audience that knew Georgia Sothern and actually worked with her and had her on his show. And I'm hoping that he'll say a few words about Georgia before we start the show. Mr. Franklin, would you mind? I'd like to introduce, I don't know, if he's willing to come up. You're the only person that I've ever met that knew Georgia Sothern. And it would be an honor for all of us if you could maybe say a couple words about her. Joe Franklin, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
This is quite unexpected. I tell you, I go back to the days when the Dead Sea was only sick. I don't do comedy, I don't do jokes. In fact, my first guest on TV ever was Moses, and when Moses had a headache, I told him to take 2 tablets. I don't do comedy, I just want to tell you, I did 43 years on TV, the first 15 years on Channel 7, the last 30 years on Channel 9. I've interviewed 5 U.S. presidents, and I had Charlie Chaplin, I had Milton Berle, I had Cary Grant, I had John Wayne. But the ones that I'm proudest of, well, I loved, when I was a kid, I was an avid, ardent fan of the burlesque circuit. I would go to watch the comedians. But many of them became famous later on, but they all began in burlesque. Red Skelton, Bert Lahr, Al Jolson, Eddie Cantor, Bob Hope, so many more. And I was too young to appreciate the girls. But in later years, I interviewed most of the girls on my show. I interviewed Margie Hart, Gypsy Rose Lee, Ann Corio, and the one that's being honored tonight was a very dear friend of mine, Georgia Sothern. So I'm going to lean back with you and watch the show. And I can only say that my little toast is to our wives and sweethearts. May they never meet. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Franklin. What an honor. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Please come and see the show that made America blessed. A chorus of 40, some of them are younger. 40 girls and only 39 costumes. Girls, girls, girls. Step right up. The show is about to begin, ladies and gentlemen. Bunch of beautiful girls. Don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? And we've got some wonderful, beautiful young women in the audience tonight. But you know, I do have an issue with ladies today. You dress up, you look so nice, you get dolled up and put your makeup on, then you spoil everything with 4-letter words. Words like don't, can't, won't. Now, of course, romance does still exist. At one point, a friend of mine, a very handsome young man, was with a lovely young woman. He was on a moonlit walk on the beach, and well, they found a nice secluded sandy spot. Not too sandy, of course, for the ladies. But, so they were sort of starting to get more intimately knowledgeable of each other, ladies and gentlemen. And he's looking down at her, and he's getting really worked up, and he says, "Tell me something. Tell me. Am I the first man you ever made love to?" She looks up at him and says, "Of course. Why do you guys always ask the same ridiculous goddamn question?" So now, ladies and gentlemen, 71 years after the closing of the Minsky Burlesque on 42nd Street, we are proud to present a burlesque legend and original Minsky folly, one of the true headliners of 42nd Street during the golden era of burlesque. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Georgia Sothern!
I get the blues when it rains. Blues I can't lose when it rains. Each little raindrop that falls down my window pane always reminds me of tears I've shed in vain. I sit and wait for the sun to shine down on me once again. Rain when I found you, I mean rain when I lost you. That's why I get blue when it rains. I get the blues when it rains. Blues I can't lose when it rains. Each little raindrop that falls down my window pane always reminds me of tears I've shed in vain. I sit and wait for the sun to shine down on me once again. Rain when I found you, I mean rain when I lost you. That's why I get blue. That's why I get blue. That's why I get blue when it rains. Oh, honeys, thank you. So, my last stage appearance, you know when it was? The 1960s. Yeah, how do I look, huh? I started in show business at the ripe old age of 4. See, Uncle Virgil, he put together a vaudeville act for us, but it was illegal for 4-year-olds to work, and so he billed me as a 16-year-old midget. See, Mama was poor, and if I could get out there with Uncle Virgil and earn my keep, well, that would certainly take a lot of pressure off of Mama. And so, woo, the vaudeville theater, it was my whole life, until 1931. That's when Uncle Virgil got TB. The vaudeville was already dying out, our little acts were dated, the shows were paying less and less, and then the Great Depression hit. Well, thank God for burlesque agents, right? I went and saw one right up on 42nd Street. And just when that agent started to ask me all those difficult questions, like, my age, well, the owner of a theater, a burlesque theater in Philadelphia, he walked in the door and offered me a job right on the spot. And it was almost my 13th birthday. Once I met a famous painter. Never was a painter quainter. I got this bit of knitting, merely sitting. That's how I got my start. Once I met a dry, good drummer. Never was a drummer, dumber. But now my wardrobe's empty. That's how I got my stars. Why is it they're so kind to me? Men who have all made amends. Why do they act so gallantly? Could somebody drop me a hint? Now you have my whole life story, struggling on the road to glory. So let this be a lesson. Keep on guessing. That's how I got my start.
She's also a mover, so she has a number you can call. Georgia Sothern. What a beautiful young woman. What a beautiful woman. Such a splendid pair of lungs. Now, I was telling you all about a friend of mine earlier who made love in the sand with that young woman. Now, there is another story about him that I would like to tell you. It's a little bit more tragic. Let's call him Charlie. Now, Charlie is in the midst of a crush and passion of embrace with this beautiful, beautiful young woman. And he's been shacking up with her for about a year, and he's kind of been tomcatting around and running around on her. And he decides that now would be the perfect psychological moment to break it off. So, he's Jewish. He's a multitasker. So, you like the Jews. I like the Jews.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen. So Charlie is looking down at her, and she's gazing up at him sweetly. Says, "Sweetheart, look, I really think you're terrific. You're a wonderful girl, but as far as getting married, it's nowhere." She looks up at him and says, "Kiss me. Hold me." And he says, "Look, sweetheart, you're not understanding. What I'm telling you is, I love you like a sister." She looks up at him and says, "Oh boy, what a crazy home life you must have." Mrs. Murphy couldn't sleep. Her nerves were slightly off the beat until she solved her problem with a can of Ovaltine. She drank a cup most every night and knew how she would treat until something rough got in her stuff and made her neighbors scream, "Ow!" Who put the Benzedrine in Mrs. Murphy's Ovaltine? Sure is a shame, don't know who's to blame, 'cause the old lady didn't even get his name. Where did she get that stuff? Oh, she just can't get enough. Might have been the man who wasn't there. No, Jack, that guy's a square. She never ever wants to go to sleep. She said that everything is solid all right. Now Mr. Murphy don't know what it's all about, 'cause she went threw the old man out. Wow! Who put the Benzedrine in Mrs. Murphy's Ovaltine? Now she wants to swing the Highland Fling. Says the Benzedrine's a thing that makes her spring. Oh, spring it now. Most every week or so. She always kept an extra can on hand just in case the sheets roll over. She'd never ever been so happy since she left old Ireland, until someone prowled her pantry and a can. Wham! Who put the Benzedrine in Mrs. Murphy's Ovaltine? Sure is a shame, don't know who's to blame, cause the old lady didn't get his name. Where did she get that stuff? Oh, she just can't get enough. Now she likes to swing the Highland fling, says the Benzedrine's the thing that makes her spring. She stays up nights making all around. They say she lost about 69 pounds. Now Mr. Murphy says she's getting awful thin, and all she says is give me some skin. Who put the Benzedrine in Mrs. Murphy's